Today we're making the state cookie of New Mexico, Biscochitos. These lovely little holiday cookies have a short, crumbly texture, and they're lightly flavored with cinnamon, a little bit of anise. Now, Christy's here, and she's bringing all the Biscochito basics, and you've got a few tricks up your sleeve.
I do, Bridget. These cookies have a really rich history. Now, traditionally, lard was used because it was the most available fat. Nowadays, we use lard not so much out of necessity, but because we like to honor tradition, and they give a really superior flavor and texture that you only get with lard.
Fantastic. You don't have to convince me.
Let's start with the dry ingredients.
Okay.
I have 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, which is 8 3/4 ounces.
Okay.
And I'll add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And we'll just whisk this together to make sure that all that leavener especially is evenly distributed. Biscochitos are known for their punch of anise flavor. I have 1 1/2 teaspoons of anise seeds here, and I'm going to put those in a Ziploc bag. And we're going to crush these so that they'll release their oils and lots of flavor. You can do this a couple different ways. I'm going to use a rolling pin. If you have a meat mallet, you can do that. You can be really dramatic and just start pounding, but I find that you can also roll your way to success and maybe have fewer migraines while you do it. Now that we have our flavors, we want to get a good texture started, and so we're going to start by creaming the fat and some sugar, but in this case we're using lard. And it's going to give the cookies a little bit of a savory flavor and that really melt in your mouth kind of texture. So I have 2/3 of a cup of lard. This is 4 2/3 ounces. And the great thing about working with lard is even out of the refrigerator, this is going to soften up super quickly. So you don't have to take it out and let it sit. It'll mix really nice. I also have some sugar. This is 1/2 cup or 3 1/2 ounces.
Great.
And send it right in there.
Oh, there we go.
So fragrant.
That smells lovely.
Okay, now we're going to mix this on medium-high speed until we get it nice and fluffy, just like creaming with butter.
Okay.
That's going to take about 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
Well, that looks like cream sugar, doesn't it?
It sure does.
So we'll add 1 large egg
Okay.
and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Great.
I'll scrape it down a little bit before we get started. We'll go back up to medium-high just to get this all mixed together.
Yes. All right.
Come together now.
Absolutely.
Right? That looks good. So now at this point, we can start adding the dry ingredients.
Okay.
We will add it slowly, but we want to stop the mixing as soon as it's combined because we don't want to overwork this dough, make it too tough, and develop too much gluten.
Right.
I don't see any dry flour, do you?
I do not see any dry flour.
All right. Let us stop this.
Lovely.
And it's not sticky. You don't have to put any flour down. This is going to make 2 logs of cookies. This is a slice and bake cookie.
Right.
And the easiest way to measure these so that you get nice even cookies is to first divide this in half.
Okay.
And, you can try to eyeball it, but that's never going to work exactly. But if we use the scale, and I know that each half should weigh about 9 ounces, that's going to get us there much more quickly and efficiently. It's a little heavy. The last time I made these, it's a little bit over 9 ounces each.
Gotcha.
We don't need to use a rolling pin. That was just to crack the anise. I'm just going to roll these with my hands. So this is like a trip back to childhood. So I went to roll each of these into a 6-inch cylinder. Try to get it pretty even. Okay, now I'll take a piece of plastic wrap. And we'll put the log in. And we want to roll it nice and tight.
Sausage style.
Yes. And twist your ends. Now the trick is having this nice cylinder stay in a cylinder when you put it in your refrigerator. You can't put it on a flat surface.
Right.
But a really cool thing is to use an 8-inch baking pan or dish, because if you've rolled this to the right length, 6 inches, it should fit just perfectly in here after you've filled it with either rice or sugar. Now I have 1 more log to roll, and then I can put these both in the refrigerator and let them chill for at least 3 hours or up to 3 days.
Okay.
We have some nicely chilled dough here, Bridget.
It is firm and chilled, I concur.
And that is going to make it much easier to slice. And not just to slice, but to keep this nice round shape. So I'm going to make 1/4-inch slices, and I always like to use my ruler to, at least to get me started. And I'm going to kind of roll the dough as I slice to
I
maintain.
couldn't love you any more than I already do. The fact that you're measuring these. It's a sign of a great baker. And how many slices per log?
We should get 24. So here are the last 2.
All right.
I'm so excited that these are all ready.
Me too.
Now, we're going to bake these 1 sheet at a time. These will go in a 350-degree oven on the middle rack for 13 to 15 minutes. And I'll go in and rotate the sheet pan halfway through baking.
Okay.
And while they're baking, we'll do the second batch.
Yay.
It's been a little over 13 minutes. Those cookies smell done to me.
I'm telling you, we should go into business. It smells amazing in here.
I'm going to grab my sheet if you want to follow behind with those, and we'll switch them out.
Okay, sounds great. How pretty.
Right?
Oh, those are lovely.
They stay pretty pale on top, but you can see around the edges
That's right.
how nice and golden they are. Lightly browned.
Lightly brown.
Just a kiss.
Oh, I like that.
Now these need to sit and cool for about 5 minutes because we're going to handle them.
Right.
They're too hot to touch now. So while they're cooling, we can work on the sugar coating that we're going to put on them. So I have a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and I'll add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and then just a pinch of salt. This is kind of a sweet, salty cookie, as well as the little savory bit that we get from the lard.
Love it.
And this just sort of reinforces those flavors. So as soon as those cookies have cooled just a little bit, we'll give them a little swim in the sugar mixture.
Perfect.
Okay, I can handle these now.
They firmed up just enough.
But we want to do this while they're still warm, just not hot. So we'll put a few in the sugar and then just give them a little toss. So once they have a nice thin coating, we can put them over on a wire rack. We're just putting them on a baking sheet to catch any extra sugar.
All right. I'll be the taker-outer. You can be the putter-inner.
I love it when we work together.
I do too.
The cookies are great by themselves, but this is like the bow on top.
Yes.
You know?
Agree.
Well, these are just about done, so we need to give these 30 minutes to cool completely.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, we're also going to be finishing off the second batch, running through this whole process and letting them cool, and then we can eat.
I'm making space for those cookies.
We've let these rest. We've given them their space.
Yes, it was the longest 30 minutes of my life.
I've heard you say that before, though.
But that was before today.
Well, I think it's time we give you your cookies.
These are so beautiful. And they look so special. I almost hate to eat them. Oh,
I
if
know
I
better.
must. Can't wait. I love this texture of cookies. When it's crumbly, but it's not tough.
It's not hard shortcake. You know, it almost feels almost like a laminated dough kind of, except it's in cookie form because it's crisp kind of
Right.
crunch.
Beautiful flavor. I mean, the anise or anise.
You know, as it melts on your tongue, you can taste that little bit of savory that's bumped up by the salt.
You know, that little bit of salt just helps to make you really appreciate the sweetness, and that cinnamon and anise together doesn't get much better.
No, subtle and delicious.
Exactly. Thanks, Christy. Well, to make these beautiful Biscochitos at home, use lard for best flavor and texture. Roll the chilled dough as you slice for perfectly round cookies, and toss them in cinnamon sugar while they're still warm. So from Cook's Country, New Mexico Biscochitos. And you can get this recipe and all the recipes from this season, along with product reviews and select episodes. They're all on our website. That's cookscountry.com/TV. Look at me, I'm getting sad. No, I'm happy.